explaining the mass exodus out of America's large left-wing cities. Michael Snyder reports, over the past several years, thousands of businesses and millions of people have left America's large left-wing cities. Of course, when moderates and conservatives leave, that just causes those cities to shift even further to the left, and the politicians just implement even more self-destructive policies. So now many of our biggest metropolitan areas find themselves caught in a death spiral, quote unquote, and there appears to be little hope of turning things around anytime soon. The politicians in these left-wing cities clearly understand that their once thriving communities have been transformed to crime-ridden, drug-infested hellholes, but it would go against everything that they believe to do what is necessary to fix things. When I say that there has been a mass exodus, quote unquote, I'm not exaggerating one bit. The population losses that we have seen over the past several years have been absolutely unprecedented. According to the most recent U.S. Census figures, we're in the middle of a mass exodus from America's largest and most left-wing cities. The data reveals that New York City alone lost over 500,000 residents, which is more than the entire population of Miami. Additionally, Chicago, often referred to as Chirac by some individuals, experienced a decline of nearly 100,000 residents. Another notable city, San Francisco, has seen a larger share of population loss than any other major city in the United States. I love to pick on San Francisco because it's a perfect example of the phenomenon. It's one of the wealthiest cities on the entire planet, and a few years ago it was bustling with activity. But now everything has changed. One man recently went downtown to capture footage of what the city looks like now, and he discovered that store after store is permanently closed. In the Union Square area, 203 retailers were open in 2019. Today there are only 107 still operating, and another one just announced that it will be closing as well. Century-old Gurin's Brothers haberdashery has joined a host of stores shutting in San Francisco's Union Square amid widespread crime and plummeting footfall. The hat boutique has become the latest casualty of the so-called retail apocalypse gripping downtown San Francisco. It's never an easy decision, but it was time, a company representative wrote in a statement. What a tragedy. The retailers that insist on remaining open in downtown San Francisco find themselves resorting to extreme measures in a desperate attempt to survive. Theft has become so bad in San Francisco that some stores are now padlocking shut their freezers and tying metal chains to ensure the doors remain closed overnight. Video shot by one potential shopper at the local Walgreens in the city sees aisle after aisle of products locked away behind perspex and glass and out of the reach of thieves. Even lower value items such as toothpaste and tissues are kept under lock and key. Such is the rampant theft that has been occurring in many of the city's pharmacies and supermarkets. Overall in Oakland, overall crime is up 42% since the first half of 2021. The Bay Area should be one of the nicest places to live in the entire country, but instead it's one of the worst. Of course, the truth is that crime is on the rise everywhere. Vehicle theft is absolutely exploding, and that is particularly true for Kia and Hyundai models that you can apparently steal with just a USB cable. The U.S. is battling a surge in motor vehicle theft this year, with cases more than doubling in Rochester, Cincinnati, and other cities as thieves hotwire vulnerable Kia and Hyundai models with just a USB cable. A study by the Council on Criminal Cases, CCJ, on Thursday showed how car thefts jumped 33.5% across major cities as thieves brazenly share how-to videos of hot-wiring vehicles on TikTok. That ups to 23,974 more stolen cars across the 32 cities studied. If crime rates continue to soar, it would not be too long before many cities are completely unlivable. But instead of trying to fix a crisis, many of our politicians seem intent on making it even worse. In Illinois, they have actually eliminated cash bail, and many are warning that this is going to cause all sorts of new problems. Illinois has become the first state in the nation to eliminate cash bail, clearly the way of potentially dangerous criminals to be set free on the streets. Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker celebrated the step on Tuesday, but critics reacted with incredulity. Illinois Republican Party Chair Don Tracy said the law will significantly undermine public safety by releasing from custody dangerous violent criminals at a time when police are under attack in Illinois families and crime victims already fear for their personal safety. Our politicians love to be soft on violent criminals, it seems, but if you cross the IRS, you could soon have dozens of armed agents in tactical gear showing up at your door. On Wednesday, at least 25 to 30 IRS agents in tactical gear raided a business along Southeast Slater Street in Stuart, Florida, Fox 29 reports. The raid, which began around 9:30 a.m. on July 12, saw agents entering and leaving the premises of Tee-Off Temps and Elite Payroll Solutions, each time laden with boxes and large backpacks, and the agents, with their clothing branded with police, IRS, criminal investigation, shocked local witnesses. There's at least 25-30 cops out there, said one witness. What in the world has happened to us? Our priorities have gotten way out of whack. And if you're considering moving away from a major city, I can't blame you one bit. Vast numbers of Americans have already moved to red states and rural communities, and many more will choose to relocate in the months ahead. For much more on this, you can see my previous article entitled Millions of Americans Are Relocating Just Prior to the Great Chaos That's Coming. And some people are moving out of the country entirely. In fact, it's being reported that the number of Americans that are relocating to Spain has been spiking. More Americans are flocking to Spain for longer weather, or as so-called digital nomads working abroad, or to enjoy a new life in retirement. The number of Americans living in Spain grew by 13% from 2019 to 2021, and home sales to Americans jumped 88% from the first half of 2019 to the first half of 2022, according to a report by the General Council of Notaries in Spain. Is this where we're at? Our cities are descending into madness, and violence is increasing everywhere that we look. And if things are this bad now, what will our country look like once a full-blown economic meltdown happens? If you live in or near a major metropolitan area, you might want to think about that. What we are already witnessing is truly frightening, but once economic conditions become extremely harsh, all hell is likely to start breaking loose. And this is by Michael Snyder. He says, about the author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I really need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my articles. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream with the most important news, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.